Well, if worst comes to worst, we can crack open that ecto cooler.
I don't know if that's going to be
No, probably would give me horrible digestive pains.
So, you know, in terms of like digestion pains, Nate, how is your body these days? Rocking and rolling, still cracking up a cold lager on a Monday evening.
Yeah, having
how you
plethora.
Doing? How do you keep it together? You look.
How do I keep? Well, first of all, you gotta get solid 8 hours of manual labor a day.
Okay,
that never hurts.
Yeah,
you're talking about carpentry. That's exactly what I do. And then rocking every night. And then
prayers and vitamins.
That works up a thirst. You gotta have a few cold ones.
Yeah. Wait. So are you really do carpentry? Mm-hmm. Help me cut some holes in this fucking table.
We just went through the whole plan. If I'd have driven my van over, had all my tools,
that could have been the whole fucking episode.
I was gonna say that'd have been a great podcast.
Yeah. Right? So
don't forget the vitamins and prayers,
plunge
right?
cuts would be all right.
Stone Cold Cutters.
Ooh,
that's your new business.
I like it. Rock and roll with a side of carpentry.
Yeah.
So I mean, with that type of a business plan, there's no point of you even putting out a new fucking album.
No,
just hang it up. You got a new things in town
from such a marketing genius as yourself.
Yeah,
business card comes with.
Yeah, we got to look for a van and a sweet Native American picture to paint on the side of it at this point.
The album actually comes with a business card and a free estimate on Windows, just Windows.
All right, that sounds great. So I got Stone Cold Killer in the building. If you haven't figured that out, make some noise for the internet, everybody. I don't have the sound effect anymore.
Internet.
So you got to make your own fucking sounds.
Yeah. Go internet, you win.
Returning to the show, we've done this before.
Yeah, this is what I think our third time.
Yeah, you're still for some fucking reason doing this. I am too. So don't get me wrong. Don't take that the wrong way.
We're
all still doing it. So I know the starting of this whole thing is that y'all have managed to find the time to put out another fucking record.
Well, it took some time.
I'm sure it did.
First of all, let's start with, you mispronounced it. It's not y'all, it's Yins. You mispronounced Yins. But we recorded this 3.5 years ago.
Oh wow.
And are just now between
COVID. We recorded it during COVID. We
recorded during COVID. So we didn't necessarily want to release it even right after we were done anyways. We recorded in November of 21, I think. And then by the time it was edited, our producer was there for the 2 week, we did 13 days straight, 10, 12 hour, whatever, it
was rock and roll boot camp. It was awesome.
Yeah, seriously, as much as we could. And so when it was all said and done, we got all the takes. It was all right, the producer is from Austin. So he's just took it back with him and took it back to mix and master with his engineer down there. And so that just dealing with that and him having so many other commitments as well, just getting all of those, everything to line up. We probably didn't even have it edited and ready to go until July. And by that point, our drummer had quit. So we had that to contend with. And then Yins and Roses got going, our Guns N' Roses tribute band side project. And so we had a bunch of gigs with that. And we just were waiting for the right time. And at some point, near the end of last year, it was all right, we got to get this thing out.
We'll backtrack. After we were done recording it, we had a whole tour put together. We were going, pretty much all over the East Coast, just hitting clubs. And when we started making calls, they were we're not comfortable booking any out of town bands yet. And that went on for a really long time. By the time, we were able to actually book shows, like Nate said, our drummer was gone. So it took us a little bit. But we're really proud of how it turned out. Shout out to John Moyer. He's our producer, the bassist for Disturbed. And shout out to Stripes, one of our boys, our stage manager, tour manager friends that kind of put that all together. it's a pretty cool opportunity.
Yeah, absolutely.
It does take a ton of fucking time to like get all of the stuff together, to like get the songs, get it recorded, get it, fucking personal story. My band, Not Greywalker, Normal Creatures, we filmed a music video in July, which is almost a year ago.
Yeah.
And it's still not done.
Oh, really? It's like,
Yeah. And I want to put my head
editing
through a
music videos
fucking
got-
wall, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, like, listen, like, if that motherfucker's watching this, you're my friend. But
But
I could have fucking, goddamn, I could have edited that fucking video in like 3 fucking days. For the
Why
amount
didn't
of, for
you?
the amount, of,
that's
the
why I
amount of
was-
money I'm fucking giving you.
I'm
fucking
surprised
full of
you
shit,
didn't
dude.
because you do everything else yourself
Well, that's
all
the thing,
time.
and
You're
okay, so
so
I guess we're going to get
DIY.
into some sort of a weird side tangent here, but this is the thing, right? Where it's like, I do have the capability to do a lot of things myself, but genuinely the person in me is like, oh, it would be nice to take something off my plate, and it would also be nice to support other people that are working, put some money in their pocket, take a little bit of things off my plate. And also when sometimes if something's like your vision so much, it's kind of gross. It's nice to get some other people in the
Yeah.
pot, get their ideas for things and stuff like that. But like, there's been several circumstances over the past year, to be honest with you, where I've like gone out of my way to like work with other people, and like I just have been like brutally reminded why I don't work with other people in almost every circumstance.
Yeah, that's why I'm honestly, I'm very surprised to hear you say that you're not doing the editing.
Well, I'm not, that ain't happening again. I'll tell you that right now.
Learned a lesson, huh?
Fucking tell you that right now.
You only
Like I'm
touched
learning Premiere tomorrow.
you touched that hot stove one time, as far as I understand it, right?
Yeah, it sucks. Like, I mean, but also too, it's kind of hard to be mad at people, going back to what we were just talking about, where it's like the reality of the situation is like, we're all in our 30s if we're lucky. We might be.
I got a couple more months of being in my 30s. Yeah.
Some of us saw those end a while ago.
Yeah, sure. And it's like really hard to like when you're working with other people that also have all that other shit going on, and you have your other stuff going on. Like, you do have to have like a little bit of empathy when it comes to the time that it takes.
Yeah.
Like, if you don't have like patience, it's like impossible to make something like a band keep going.
I mean, yeah, when you have 5 grown men, we all have our own lives and
Grown?
day-to-day
You sure about that?
schedules. Well, yeah,
I'm fucking
right. Grown men.
No, yeah.
But just to get everybody together for a rehearsal sometimes, you know what I mean? Like, just to set that time aside is challenging at points, let alone to edit an album or a video or promote, a gig or whatever it is,
Yeah, that's why like I think that it's like really really cool if you're able to get into a position where you could find like a group of people that are like down to make this thing happen, and also have the patience and like can understand like, hey, like somebody has to work, or somebody's kid has diarrhea, or somebody's fucking dog tore apart something, whatever, all the dumb shit that's going on, or just quite simply like, hey, I'm tired.
Yep.
I can't do it. I'm sorry, guys. Like that kind of shit happens with my band, and it's just like, okay, I get it. Can't take it personally. It's like, I'd rather you be honest instead of coming to practice in a shitty mood
Yeah.
and ruining everybody else's fucking mood.
That's a little counterproductive,
Uh-huh.
at some point. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I'd rather just stay home at that point, Because
Totally.
if you're just going to show up and go halfway through it, what's the point?
Yeah.
know?
Only go whole ass.
Only
In this band, damn
whole
it.
asset, yes, obviously.
We only whole ass it.
Yeah, it's I think in general that's the thing that I've like noticed so much just throughout the years, and there's people that like come and go, and people that stop playing music, and sometimes it's a bummer. Sometimes bands break up and you're like, damn, those guys were really good. And other times there's bands that break up and you're like, nice.
What took them so
I'm
long?
really glad I never have to play with that
What
band
were they
again.
waiting for?
And but I think that it's just like trying to like curate, being aware of that stuff, being aware of like that, like, hey, I'm in a band that I'm working with people that I'm really happy to be working with and they're my buds. And if I'm going to play a show with anybody, do I know those other bands? Are they cool? You know, am I playing a show with like a bunch of jerks just because they might get an extra 20 of their jerks to come out to the show? Or would I rather play to nobody with cool people? I don't know.
Then exponential amounts of jerks.
Yeah.
They tell two friends and they tell two friends.
I will say though, like the older that I've gotten and like, I feel like a lot of the jerks have kind of weeded out. I feel like that's kind of really stopped being a thing like in my 20s and in my 30s, especially as I've kind of accepted my fate and I'm like no longer trying to like play shows for like teenagers or anything like that anymore, which nothing against teenagers. They youth drives the culture. They'll be the next generation of rock and roll, but like I don't give a fuck about like what most 17-year-olds are listening to now.
There's a bit of a
I don't want to hang out with
gap.
17-year-olds. I don't want to, you know, so it's just like a different thing. But I know that there's a lot of like trying to be cool and fit in. It's also kind of hard sometimes to age as a rock star type guy. Not that any of us are rock star type guys, but you know, my hair fell out a while ago. What the fuck am I gonna do now?
Well, you wear a hat.
I'm not cool, you know, and I've never been cool. But I just like
But that's
playing
what's cool
music.
about it.
I guess so.
You know?
Yeah.
Hey, man. We're all out here doing it one way or another, you know?
Yeah.
It's not, you know, it might not be like, might not be, you know, like rock star, like stadium tours, but, you know, what is the likelihood of that happening? As long as we're out here having fun and enjoying it, that's what counts.
Sure.
As far as I'm concerned.
Gotta have
would you
passion
be,
for it.
What would you be doing? I mean, if you didn't play music with people, like, what do you think you would actually be doing?
I've thought about this a lot.
Because that's how I kind of look at it. Is it's a joy for me, and I feel like I'm blessed compared to a lot of people. Not putting anybody down, but I have this other thing that I get to do that I'm very passionate about. And no matter how bad my day is, I know when I go home, I can pick up my guitar. Or I get together with these guys, and like when I walk in the room, I might not be in the greatest mood. I might be in a great mood, but like I'm gonna have a good time doing that.
Yeah.
No matter how
that makes a huge difference. And like, how many people do you know that? I don't know. Like I said, I'm not trying to knock it. It's just like going home, just want to sit in front of the TV and veg out and have like no adventures in life. And I guess if that's what you want, it makes you happy, cool. But it doesn't make me happy.
Yeah.
I need something else to make me happy.
Vegging out's important every once in a while, but one of the things that always like makes me, it used to annoy me when I was younger, and now it just bums me out. And this really piggybacks off what you were saying, Curtis, is that you ever like talk to somebody about like playing in a band? And they're those type of people that are all like, so you guys like make like money playing gigs?
Yeah,
like,
what
it's
kind
like,
of money are you
money's
doing
like
that?
always the first thing that comes up. And it's just like, that used to make me so mad. And now I just feel bad for them. 'Cause it's like the concept of doing something just because you enjoy doing it is so lost on them.
Foreign.
It's
It's
just
like,
lost
bro,
in
that
general
is
to society, it
a
seems like.
bummer.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
man.
like, think about that.
Uh-huh.
I think just art culture in general is just kind of faded from the concept of, you know, being something that was encouraged in school or like outside in adult life.
Yeah.
You know, all arts really, if you think about it.
Yeah, that is a good point. Like you said, like the concept of doing something just for enjoyment, it's almost like gone completely. Just
It's all about them likes, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, right? Yeah, if you don't got those likes,
TikTok videos.
that's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. I think I understand where a lot of those people were coming from. It really makes me. It just, like I said, I can't really put it in any other way other than like it just bums me out. And it is like, because like also it's like, how do I even have a conversation with you? It's like a losing conversation. You can't even like how the hell am I supposed to explain the vague concept of passion to somebody in their 30s? It's like, if you haven't fucking figured this out yet, what the hell do how am I supposed to help you here?
I have an entire subset of friends like in my neighborhood at my local bar that literally they're like, what do you do for a day job? Are you like actually a musician? Because I never talk about work outside of work. That's the only thing that people know me for.
Yeah.
Because like that's really like, why would I want to talk about work? I'm not there. It'll be there when I get back. I promise you.
It's there every day.
It's there every day.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, I'd rather talk about band stuff or, you know, whatever dumb sports we can, yell about whoever's the
the
crappy
Buckeyes.
starter, bad quarterback, or whatever this week.
You know, so back to Stone Cold Killer. You got this album that is coming out pretty fucking soon, right? This week? I
Earth
think?
Day, 420.
420, it's coming out. This podcast will be out after 420. So we could speak as though the album is out. The album is out now.
Album
You
is
can
out.
listen to it, but you released it on 420.
Yep, it's on all your standard platforms: iTunes, Apple, Spotify, YouTube Music. You know, wherever you listen to your tunes, we're there.
The release show was great. Went off without a hitch.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can edit that in post, right?
Totally.
Great turnout.
So what's the deal with the release show?
It's a poetry lounge. It's we're releasing our first vinyl, which we're pretty excited about.
Hell yeah.
Finally put it on wax. We're playing with the Pooks, who's a local, I don't even know what you call them, transcendental blues rock band. And then we're playing with Regal Sweet, which is sweet revival rock. We're really excited. Although it sounds like Poetry Lounge is having some issues with their hot water heater, so hopefully
In
everything's
a flooded basement.
in a flooded basement. So hopefully everything's
Good
to
old
go.
Millvale.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Millvale strikes again.
Yeah, Poetry Lounge, pretty sweet place, a little small, but definitely got good vibes there. I'm sure you guys have played there, if not been there.
So Grey Walker played there once when it was still Whisper Nest.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm doing some DJ stuff there now.
Nice.
Yeah. Spinning 80s metal records.
Hell
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Tay Nights.
Not there.
No,
No.
not there.
No, but I saw Blackie Lawless on your flyer.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
hell
I did. I forgot about that. That was a really cool flyer, man.
Yeah, thank you. Yes. Yeah. No. So yeah, I'm doing those like where I think it's gonna kind of be like an every other month kind of thing. Nothing too regular, just
Yeah,
something a little fun to do.
that's cool.
Yeah.
I like that place.
It is cool. It's a cool place then where people from like the quote unquote scene can go and socialize. You can get a drink. I guarantee you're going to see somebody from another band there
Yes.
on any given night. It's just one of those places where, you know,
Yeah.
it's like a community hub,
The crossroads, if
which
you
is
will.
cool. Because we haven't had a lot of places like that.
Yeah.
Keep losing them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like Howlers was kind of that way a lot. I'd ran into a lot of musicians at Howlers.
Oh yeah. There wasn't a time that I ever played at Howlers where I would be like, you'd see somebody in the bar, they'd be like, "What the fuck are you doing here?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, it's just a bar. You don't have to pay to come to the show.
Yeah.
You didn't know I was playing. You're not here. That's not why you're here."
You mean the music you didn't have to pay for that you could see on the closed circuit television
Yeah.
and you could smoke over there? That section?
Right. You
Yeah.
can hear.
What a great
hear
business model
perfectly
that was.
clear from through the doorway.
Well, hey, you know,
I do miss Mama Joe though.
Oh,
But R.I.P. Mama Joe. She was
Yeah.
great.
Hey, you know what? If I could snap my fingers and trade that place for like fucking Cativo or something, I would in a heartbeat. No, no shade towards Cativo, just whatever, you know.
Yeah, it's like what is the deal with them now? They like are closed 90% of the time and just do shows.
I have no
Sometimes.
idea.
You have to know like a secret knock to get in.
No, like they're like not open normally. I think they only open for shows now, which is
yeah.
strange. Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, that was the only time I think I was ever really there. Only time I would go there was for shows. So I speak in the past tense now because I'm a dad. So like not even.
That was definitely one of those sound guy nights that I looked at the sound guy and I was like, I need more in my monitor. And he just kept staring at me like no clue on earth. It was
Glazed
like
over.
and over and over. And finally after I'm like, okay, I don't need to hear myself. Let's just go.
Yeah.
Don't miss that guy.
Whoever that may have been. So what the fuck else is up, guys? I don't know. What's cooking? What's shaking?
Wow. You know. Releasing
Living
the
life.
record.
Living our lives.
Putting the record out, living your lives.
Yeah.
It
Do you
was
got
pretty cool. to, like,
any music videos in the works that are gonna take 10 months to edit?
I mean, if we did, I'm sure they would. Given our track record, I'm sure
We
they would.
tried to do a music video once and like it
Oh,
it didn't
Didn't work out.
It never took off. Yeah.
Hey, we have a few, but those are just kind of hand pieced together by myself.
Kyle, who does like a lot of our artwork and a lot on the digital side of things for us. Thankfully, somebody speaks Photoshop.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot where I was going with that.
You're gonna say how sweet that program for Love and Destruction.
No, I mean that was really cool, but I mean he could have probably done all that. That was really cool whenever you did all that stuff. But yeah, we tried a few times to do the video thing. You did a great storyboard though. Like
I was gonna
he
say, we had a
literally storyboarded it out. He did like everything, like and
Just needed a director.
like I mean, basically had it sequenced down to like time and everything, like for the video. Like he put a lot of good work into it and it looked good. It's just the videographer thing didn't work out.
Yeah,
they're expensive too.
Yeah, it's hard. It's a lot of time. It's a lot of money. It's a lot of energy.
Do people watch videos anymore?
Well, so that thank you for
Sorry.
segueing me into my fucking part. Hey, start the beat with Curtis. It's fine.
Sorry, buddy.
No, it's good.
Sorry.
It's good. We're having a conversation that usually involves some back and forth. So, but what I was gonna say is that I've like been having this weird tick in my brain recently about like how much does a band need to do at the level we're at? Not to like put ourselves down and also not to give ourselves the opportunity to do something more, but it also feels a little silly to be like a band operating on like a small mid scale to put thousands of dollars or something into a music video to put on YouTube when like the main idea behind the music videos was like, oh, this is getting nationwide distribution on like a television thing and maybe somebody's going to find out about us. Right. If you put your YouTube video up on your band's YouTube channel that maybe has how many subscribers?
10 subscribers.
That's all that's going to see
like
it.
200
So
views.
it's like, why are we doing this? I know there's some people that like are able to like put out like videos and then they get it put onto like somebody else's YouTube channel. But then it's like, okay, I don't know, maybe there's a benefit there. But it's like, how do we like navigate just all of the internet and promoting ourselves? What's like the right thing to do? What's the wrong thing to do?
It's $1 million question. I wish I knew.
Yeah, some people might say like, just do everything. And if something sticks, it sticks. That's great.
But then I feel like that's kind of a waste of resources on what we're actually, positive.
Coming from somebody that's been trying to do everything for fucking years, dude, it is exhausting. It's like, why the fuck did we do all this?
Yeah.
Like, sure, there's like some fun memories and things like that, but I'm like, God damn, like, I don't know, like, could we have like put all of that money like into like a van, into anything else? Like, I probably would have had a better time if I just would have taken all the homies to Cedar Point for the fucking weekend. Like, what's like the what's the end game here? And like, I don't know. It's just like, it's so hard to know like what to do, especially when it's like, again, like I'm not trying to like, if there's a 17-year-old out there that like finds my music and fucks with it, that's great. But I know that like my target demographic is mostly people that are like kind of in my age range. Mm-hmm. The stuff that we do hasn't become cool with the kids again yet. Maybe one day it will. But
it'll be rediscovered.
I mean, it's also not impossible when you have shit like Metallica and Guns N' Roses still being like top rock Billboard charting artists. So it's like somebody's listening to this kind of music.
Yep.
It's not impossible, but like, what do we do to get ourselves out there? I'm not making a fucking TikTok account. It ain't gonna fucking happen.
That's right. Draw the line.
You just got to get that song on Stranger Things or whatever, some TV show.
Sure.
Like, look at what
Kate
that
Bush.
did for Metallica. And Kate Bush, yeah.
Yeah, it's so weird. Just like knowing or trying to figure out like how to navigate that stuff in a genuine way where, it just doesn't feel like I just don't want to like do anything that's going to like make me feel like an idiot or make me feel like my stuff isn't good when I know that like the stuff that I'm putting out is good. And I believe that you guys all feel good about the stuff that you're putting out as well. Mm-hmm. But it could like really be disheartening to like put a bunch of work into something and you throw it out there and it's like 10 likes.
Yeah.
24 plays. Like,
you got to get that. You got to get in that algorithm, But that's $1 million question. If I knew the answer, we might be touring arenas right now.
Yeah, I mean, there are people that teach classes on marketing on Spotify and how to get your songs on certain playlists and everything. Yeah, I don't know that algorithm. If anyone does, please teach it to us because it's seems to be ever changing.
I think it might be you start a YouTube or TikTok or whatever channel when you're about 16 years old, and then
Well, not even that. Just
flood
within,
it with
Right.
shit and get
Takes
all your
off from
other
there.
teenage friends to like and
but
share
even
it.
just with Spotify
Smash that
alone, just being able to like use all the marketing tools and stuff that Spotify gives you, it's can be overwhelming. I don't know if I'm sure you do the Spotify for artists for your stuff.
I've messed with it. I feel like I haven't seen any success personally from that. Mm-hmm. Now, a lot of that could really just be distilled down to the fact, or not a fact, we'll say the possibility that maybe my music just isn't good. Like, that's not an impossible thing.
Sure.
You know what I
now,
mean?
it
Greater
doesn't
than
have
zero.
mass appeal.
Sure.
Being good or bad, like, that's so subjective.
It's interesting, though, because, like, you know, sometimes, like, you'll see, like, I know people in bands. I've met people in bands before. I'm connected with people in bands on the internet. And, like, I would say, regardless of how I feel about my work, I've seen some people in bands that I would consider peers of mine that maybe put out work that is on par, if maybe sometime, long story short, I've seen other people have success with, like, getting on playlists and things like that. Mm-hmm. And, like, there's an evil part of my brain. It's like, why?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, I don't get it. Like, you know, but it's just like,
you wish them the best and everything. Just like,
well, sure.
Teach me how to do it.
Like, yeah. I mean, that's the thing. Is just like, it seems like so much of it is really like, I don't want to say luck, but
Luck's
it is like, it really is just like, it is kind of like a luck thing.
Right
like,
place, right time kind
of thing. If
there
there are
right?
like actual human beings that are like, if you like submit something to Spotify to get on an editorial playlist, mm-hmm. and there's actually human beings reviewing it, you know, is it just a matter of like submitting it like the right day at the right hour that person that might like what you're doing decides to put it in this pool?
Yeah.
You know,
so Monday morning, 9:15.
I think you can pay for stuff like that, can't you?
Yeah,
you can
like
always
if you want
you can always pay for something,
right? Yeah. So like maybe some people like pay to have their
pay to play. That's never happened.
Yeah, I've experimented with that too.
Throwing a few dollars in.
Yeah, and like it's very temporary. It's like, you know, it's like it might, like, I've seen stuff where there was like a there's like a what's that fucking scam ass website called? I can't remember what it's called.
There's so many.
Say more detail.
You're not fucking wrong. But there's like some website where like basically you pay to get credits, and then you can use those credits to submit to different people that like run blogs or like Instagram accounts and things like that. And like, so we did that, and somebody, like, whenever it's like either sorry, I'm explaining this really. This is my first podcast ever, so I apologize for not being able
I remember
to
my first podcast.
So you submit the stuff, like you put in like what genre of music it is, and like what kind of stuff that, like, what kind of
who you sound like
who you sound like, and like what kind of people you want to review your stuff. Mm-hmm. And I remember seeing one post in particular that just pissed me off about the whole thing. There were a couple people that responded like genuinely with like reviews. Like, hey, like, you know, like, I'm not gonna talk about this because, like, you know, I don't think the mixing is quite up to par, but this is something that you could do and maybe submit something to me later. I'm like, okay, wow, that was like a real human being. Thank you. And then there was another thing where it was like this person, like, we'll post about your song in our Instagram stories. I go, okay, that's cool. If this is somebody that has like a lot of followers,
right?
Tight. But all this account did was like, it was like a video of them like walking down the street with like a clip of our song, and like they had the you know, like have you ever added like a song to a story?
Yeah.
Oh,
you
right.
know how,
I know where you're going
the
with this.
artwork comes up and everything.
Yeah.
They had it like sized the smallest that it possibly could be.
Man.
So it was like, technically, yes, they did post about us in their story, but it had nothing to do with, it was just like, and if you look on their story, it's like, oh, they're posting something, you know, every other fucking minute. And that's like, that credit was like equivalent to like $5 or something. Like
Right.
that. So it's like, if I had an Instagram account and I was making $5 for every 15-second story that I did.
Yeah, you would.
I mean, it might seem like a pain in the ass, but I'd say at the end of the day, you might be able to pocket a good chunk of change just fucking around on your phone.
Right.
Yep.
So for a lot of that, it's just kind of like passive income for people that are profiting off of the desperation of people just trying to figure it out. It's real fucking sleazy. I think the best thing that you could do, the bad kind of sleazy, not the good kind of sleazy, like Stone Cold Killer. So I think the best thing that you could do, honestly, is just fucking play shows. It's like the internet exists, but it's not the whole world. And I think like we've entered this realm where it's like the real world is like significant, like a much smaller percentage of the time than like the internet is.
Yeah.
And it's like, I just want to live in the world where it's like the real world is like very, very cool. My stuff's on the internet. If somebody finds it, that's fucking sick. But like, I don't need people in Pittsburgh to like my shit on the internet.
Right.
I need people in Pittsburgh to like my shit at the show.
IRL.
Yeah.
That's it.
Amen.
That's it. You know, it's like, you know, and it's funny because a lot of the time, like I saw some people at the show that Grey Walker played last night that like, we're friends online, but they never like any of our shit.
Right.
Or, you know, like, it was just like, the fuck you doing here? Like, oh, I saw your play. I wanted to come out. And then like on the flip, there's the people that like our stuff all the time. And I never fucking
Never
see
see
them.
them, right?
But
Yeah.
there's some people like, but that's the thing is like, there's nothing wrong with that. I think there are just genuinely some people that just like exist online and that's the only place they exist. And then there's the people that go out and like, I don't know. You could try to have it both. I just want to be in the world where people are going out.
It's hard to get new people to come to see shows.
Well, that's
like,
why
you know, depending
I
on
think
which band you're in.
I think mixed genre shows have really helped with that, though.
Oh, it's the best. Yeah.
Yeah, because you know you'll get people that would never hear you otherwise. They're like, "Holy shit, these guys do not sound at all like their name makes them seem."
Yeah.
For instance, but yeah.
Do you think that's the case with Stone Cold Killer?
I mean, no, I wouldn't say that, but I mean, you know.
Oh, just like you're making a general statement.
I mean, yes, but I mean, I guess you know we could look at Stone Cold Killer as kind of maybe a little aggressive to someone that maybe is a yacht rocker.
They might think it's a metal. They might think we're
But
a
then
metal
if they
band
Like
or something.
say you talk to
know.
my mom, if you ask my mom this question,
Right,
that's
right.
what she
But
would say.
if they came to our release show, or when they went to our release show on 420, they heard us play a piano ballad, the last track on the new album, which is a new venture for us, but cool.
A little sleight of hand.
Yeah.
Technically,
For
Christopher
the yacht
Cross
rockers.
is yacht rock, and he wrote a song about murder and fleeing to Mexico. So
No, it's true. Okay.
he,
Well,
you know,
hey, there's
I'm
an
just saying,
exception to every
it can
rule,
work
huh?
in both ways. Could be yacht rocky, Stone Cold Killer.
Hey, you know, there's a lot of light songs about some real dark shit, and there's a lot of dark songs musically about some very light stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah, absolutely.
you can't judge a book by its cover.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
There's-
can.
You can. It happens far too often.
Well,
That's the thing. It happens quite a bit.
Well,
Yeah.
honestly,
You know.
that might be a big part of the problem that we have with the internet.
Yeah.
Is that's pretty much all the internet is judging a book by its cover for the most part. You
Right.
know, it's like getting back into the conversation of like taking a Spotify class or something like that, right? Like a lot of that, and I understand, I think, how a lot of the mechanics of that work. And I think a lot of it just has to do with like tailoring your songs to fit specific algorithms and types of things where it's like, hey, like, you know, you got to start your song with like the best 15 to 20 seconds that you possibly can. And you got to like package it in this certain way and do all of these things. You know, it's like, it's a piece of music. Like, I feel like a good piece of music, you need to sit down with and engage more than 20 seconds to decide if this is something that you're going to like. But internet culture
Well,
has
that's
kind
like
of
the,
trained a
that's
lot
the
of
attention
people
span that
to
people
be
have.
like, oh,
yeah.
if you don't fucking get this, you know what I mean? Bro, do you think November Rain could exist in 2024? No way.
No way.
Never
You can't
would
even
fucking happen.
You can't even have one guitar solo barely in a song now.
Yeah.
What,
They-
like
they
4 or
had
5?
They had money for Teddy Zigzag to jump through a cake. Okay,
You don't.
they had
yeah,
some serious cash.
it's true.
You know.
How long do you think the November Rain music video took to edit?
Oh my God.
Have you seen the YouTube clip and it's like explaining why it's the worst music video ever on YouTube? I implore you to look that up.
Okay.
You will have a good time. Why it's the worst music video
I genuinely don't think I've watched that music video since I was a child.
I was gonna say, like, you think like you know it like the back of your hand, but then like I have watched it recently. Like, huh? You know, after a long period without seeing it since I was, like you said, like a kid. Like, oh wow, there's a lot.
It's funny.
A lot more going on here than I remember.
It's funny when shit like that happens, like, or like with like movies or even just going back to music. Like, there's like a lot of albums that I grew up with that I love and I listen to, maybe once a year, if not more. Iron Maiden, Peace of Mind comes to mind as being one of those records. On a different side of the spectrum, Mass Nerder by All, like all that like 90s epitaph punk stuff. I love that stuff. That stuff really stuck with me. And then there's other shit like in like the new metal stuff where it's like, okay, like, I was like 16 or 15 when Slipknot came out. There's no way that I wasn't going to love Slipknot. It's just, whatever now. But going back and trying to listen to some of that stuff. Like I remember like I loved Mudvayne. I loved Mudvayne so fucking much.
Yeah.
I saw them at fucking Icy Light Amphitheater with Slipknot and Dope before their first album came out.
Dude.
Before their fucking first album came out.
Amazing.
And I remember like going to the mall, like anytime I'd go to the mall, I'd go in NRM and like hope that like the Mudvayne CD was there. And finally one day it was there and I got it and I fucking loved that CD. I loved that CD to death. Yeah. And then I probably didn't listen to it for, 13, 14, 15 years.
Yeah.
And I was like, this sucks. I really don't like that fucking CD. And it's funny because like there was like I can think of multiple times that like I wrote songs thinking about like, oh yeah, it reminds me of this Mudvayne thing. And it's like how much of this personality of my artistic personality was shaped off of something that was different than what I thought it was. It's something that I don't even like. But now I have these songs that I have to pretend to like still because I wrote them.
Damn.
It's just like a weird thing.
Yeah.
Isn't Limp Bizkit like popular again? Like that's kind of weird too.
I think popular is
stretching it.
Is a strong word. I'd say like
nostalgia's coming back.
Well,
seems
people like memes. And I think like Limp Bizkit's kind of fitting into some sort of a cultural meme.
Yeah.
Like I think there's a lot of positive things that you could say about Limp Bizkit. Excellent rhythm section. John Otto's a great drummer. Wes Borland, an interesting guitar player. Sure. Fred Durst is a psychopath, but it's fun. He's a character. They know what they're doing.
Yeah.
And they're good at it. So as somebody that has been a fan of comedy throughout the years, I can't be mad at Limp Bizkit.
Yeah.
They've never tried to be anything more than what,
That's
they've
true.
never tried to sell you on them being,
They've never taken themselves seriously.
Yeah, so it's like, it's fine. But I know that they've been playing some festivals and touring and stuff like that. They put out an album in like around COVID or maybe just after the pandemic. Yeah. It sounded exactly like a Limp Bizkit album.
Yeah.
It was probably like a bunch of songs they just never recorded that they wrote like 20 years ago. Like, fuck it, let's cash
in the vault. Yeah.
Or they did record, but they just like didn't put out on and they were out. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like bands like that, when you're that big, you're like, all right, well, we'll record like 25, 30 songs and then just release 10 or 12 on the album,
what's really weird. And like, this is kind of I don't even know why we're talking about this, but fuck it. I guess we could tie it into the grand scheme of this conversation somehow. But the interesting thing about a band like Limp Bizkit is like, okay, we've established they're goofy. They know they're goofy. But like, arguably, nobody in that band is ever going to see more success or be known for anything other than being goofy. So I imagine it must be really hard for somebody that like, hey, I am a serious musician. I'm a talented guy. Like Wes Borland's a really talented guy. Yeah. He put out a bunch of other music. He recorded albums with a ton of other people, and a lot of people like don't even know that they exist. But it's like he's known as that guy, and I feel like that would be like really weird to be like, I'm in my 40s now and I'm still the Limp Bizkit guy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he kind of the face paint and everything. I think he kind of liked being the guy.
Sure.
Yeah, but I mean, and
At
also,
that time, maybe.
I'm
yeah,
not saying
but
that
who
like
knows,
he likes it or doesn't like it, but it would just be so interesting to like kind of like be like held to like being this character
oh yeah,
that you developed as like a teenager for the rest of your life.
yeah.
A dick and fart joke of a band
like,
that
I
you
feel
have
like-
to live with as a dick and fart joke
Yeah.
for 30
Right.
years.
Totally. It makes me like, and this is kind of like a hindsight. This is an easy thing for me to say. Maybe some of you could agree or disagree with what I'm about to say here. But like, I'm kind of like worried. Like, if I would have like seen some type of like hyper success in my 20s, I don't think I would like the person that I would have became. Because like I kind of like I'm really disconnected from who I was at that time now. I feel like I've grown a lot as a person.
Yeah.
And while it would have been cool to like, you know, maintain some sort of like great success and be a popular artist in my 20s, it's like I was not in a good space. And maybe that's a big part of the reason why I didn't become successful. Possibly. Maybe I just didn't have my shit together. But like that's just, the idea of that just scares me. Like, you know, you still see like these like legacy artists now, like even people that are fucking, you know, in their like 60s, 70s that are still like playing songs to stadiums that they wrote when they were like fucking 16 years old. That has to be crazy. That has to be like a fucking insane feeling.
Yeah. Actually, there's a great, that like the collection videos that they have on YouTube. They did a West Borland one. And he was into visual art before he did like the band thing. So like that was an extension of him. But they talk about that whole thing about him trying to go off and do something else. And like, it just doesn't work out. And how many times I think he left Limp Bizkit 3 times or something. And he's like, it's not a serious band, but he's a dick and a fart joke band guy who's had success. I don't know. I think I could accept that though, to some degree. Like, would you be okay with having money to be financially independent after having that kind of like success in your 20s, or at least just not have a job, like a day job?
Well, I think what he's alluding to though is like, can you still have the same feeling and same gumption for that dick and fart song, you know, 35 years later, when you're no longer in the dick and fart joke headspace?
I suppose it depends on the person.
Yeah.
You know,
I think a lot.
I'm sure ICP's fine.
I mean, how do the Stones feel about playing Satisfaction or the Who playing
that's kind of like
My Generation?
That's kind of the shit that I'm talking about. That's like crazy to me.
Yeah, it is.
Like, you know, like there's songs that I wrote with my band that nobody ever gave a fuck about. And I've been playing them for like 5 years. And I'm like, I'm fucking over this. You know, like even stuff that people like. I mean, that's the thing is like, we're not in a position, you know, if somebody comes to our show, and this happens, we have a song called Without Control. And it's probably like our most requested song to play live. But it's a fucking pain in the ass. It's really hard to play. It's a hard fucking song.
Yeah.
And every time we try to learn it and play it, we can never get it right. And we would rather just not play something than play it half-ass. But still, it's like we're at this point where it's like people will like tell us to play it, and we probably should do it, but we're like so sick of trying to make it work that we're just like can't do it.
They probably don't realize that you guys aren't playing it right. They just probably think
I know they don't. I know they don't realize that. Me just being the fucking idiot that yells at people, you know what I mean? I'm like, let's just do it anyways. But you know, there's other people there that are like, you know, playing guitar and you know want to play it right.
Sure. No,
what
I
song do
agree.
you have in Grey Walker that's easy to play?
I was gonna say,
I want to know what song that is because I've never heard one.
Well, I guess there's stuff that's easier than others.
Easier, right?
Yeah.
It's a relative.
The slow ones.
Well, to say that one is, you know, it's a very tight dance. It's a lot of that song has a lot of like twin harmony stuff, like a lot. Like pretty much the whole main riff is like a ton of like everybody has to be
on. Yeah.
You know, sometimes if one person's kind of off, it's fine. But that song, it's like the analogy I like to use a lot is like riding a skateboard down a hill really fast. And once it starts doing that, you're fucked. So that's kind of what happens with that song. You know, we don't like play to like a click track or anything like that too. So we have to rely so much on the room. And a lot of the time, like we can't hear what's going on. So it's like everybody's just listening to our drummer and just hoping we're playing it.
Right.
It's pretty much what's happening, you know. You know, I can't tell you how many times we've like gone into the studio and it's like, oh, that's what you've been playing this whole time? Really? Never realized that.
That happened a few times in
Yeah.
the studio
Yes,
with us
that's
too.
happened a lot.
Yeah.
Oh
like,
shit, that sounds way cooler than what I thought you were doing.
Yeah, we try to like really stay on top of it now and like fucking
Good drummer's
like-
key.
demoing stuff and like, you know, sending back and forth like record like how you play the song and like listening to it, just like a lot of like nerdy tech kind of stuff.
Show me how you hair whip for this breakdown part.
Yeah, we've been doing the choreographed headbanging.
Yeah.
We're making sure that everybody's on the same shampoo and conditioner regimen.
Nice. Yeah.
Your whips per minute are down right now. We noticed your performance.
We should have a like a headbanging competition.
I don't
could-
know how those guys like, don't
Oh yeah.
pass out on
My neck
stage.
hurts all
gonna
just
say.
thinking about it.
Yeah.
Sore neck.
I don't know how they just don't get dizzy and fall over
Oh,
in the middle
Pretty
of
sure
playing.
Bro.
Colton Evans' necks are just rubber at this point.
So
Yeah.
I was DJ. I was DJing a show last year, like probably close to a year ago, and I was jumping around on stage, being an idiot, and like I pulled something in my leg, really, really bad, and like it's been fine since. And I fucking was jumping around last night at the fucking show, and I fucking did it again. Same fucking leg. Not as bad, but I've been fucking. Your boy's been
Yeah.
gassed up on the heating pad all day.
You played it off well. There was no. I was there. I didn't look like you pulled a muscle.
Oh,
but
yeah, I mean, I just kind of, I was like, I'm gonna stay in one place,
yeah.
and I'm just gonna move my top half a lot.
No.
They won't figure it out. I'm not gonna move around as much, but
They
yeah,
won't
we're just
know
gonna.
until I tell
yeah.
them on my
I'm like-
podcast.
I'm like
tomorrow.
one of them fucking car dealership things. It's just
Yeah.
like-
The wacky,
Wacky
Yeah.
wet
Blur,
blower,
man.
yeah.
yeah,
This
that-
guy's got moves.
yes. That was that was all I could fucking do in that moment. But it's tough, you know. It's funny. I've been like a real asshole a big part of my life in terms of like eating right, sleeping right,
Body maintenance.
exercise, all that stuff. I'm like, who the fuck cares? I just had it in my 20s. If I could keep anything from my 20s, it would be that ability to just be able to like, yeah, I can eat a slice of pizza at 1 a.m. and it's not gonna completely ruin me for a week.
Yeah.
That'd be great. That'd be fucking great.
In your
But
20s,
yeah.
you probably house that whole pizza.
Oh fuck yeah!
Yeah,
And
one
now
slice
it's
at
like,
1 a.m.
I'm starting to see all of those repercussions now, and the bad thing is that I'm not in the headspace to have the proper mindset to put myself on a regiment to change. Can't teach an old dog new tricks. I mean, I'm never gonna fucking do anything with that mentality, but that's something I got to work on.
Nate
Sorry.
just dropped sugar one day. It was crazy.
Yeah.
And then the pounds just started falling
Get
off.
rid of those carbs. That's what. Yeah, and the 8 hours of manual labor a
Yeah,
day.
that helps.
Built-in exercise. I don't think I would have probably wouldn't have lost 30 pounds without that, but you know, it's good. Now we'll see how it goes at the show. I mean, how well it went at the show we
Well, it
played
went at
God.
just days
Well,
ago.
that's right. You were very good.
We're gonna time travel.
The thing that I have this I like playing a big stage, particularly with Grey Walker, because we're a big band. It's a big sound. It's supposed to be loud. The louder it is, the better it is. That's how like rock and metal is for
Right.
the most part. And you know, if there's space for everybody to kind of move around and put on a show, that's great. But now in my, you know, my twilight years or whatever this is, this if there's a small stage, I'm like, great.
You're like, shit.
I have an
Yeah.
excuse
Yeah.
to not move around.
Yeah, I don't have to cover 20 feet.
You know, like it's fine. So, you you got a smaller
40
stage of
feet.
poetry.
Yeah.
So
I was gonna
it's-
say there's not a lot of room to roam there. So
Yeah. So you'll just be all top half. Work on your top half
Yeah, yeah.
moves.
Thank God everybody's right-handed. The necks are all facing the bathroom, so you're
Yeah.
not at the wall. Yeah, it's tight.
Yeah.
The first time we played there was at Mill Valley Music Festival when it was the Whisper Nest.
I was there.
And okay, well, I don't know if you remember, but I was literally in the bathroom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
playing
that's right.
because it was like a hurry up, set up, get there, blah blah blah. We didn't have time to think of like how we're gonna get on stage or anything we were gonna do like that. So I ended up in the bathroom.
Funny story about that show. Besides that funny story about that show. So we played 2 shows that day. We had a Yins and Roses gig in the morning, and then we were doing Millvale Music Fest in the afternoon.
Yep.
So our drummer, Matt Muckle, who sat in for the Yins and Roses gig, couldn't do the second gig. So we called Tim up, who is now our permanent drummer, but at the time he wasn't. He was just a friend, and we're like, hey, could you sit in with us on drums? Oh, and by the way, we don't have time to have any rehearsals.
no rehearsal.
Yeah, we didn't have any.
So the first time we played with Tim was on stage at Millvale Music Fest, and it was, I mean, he didn't miss a beat. And now he's our main
several
man.
beats, but yeah,
We pulled it off.
yeah, it worked out.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember that now because I was there.
Yeah.
Were you?
Yeah.
I was.
That's why
I mean,
it was
it's
like
been
a
a
hurry
couple
up
years,
and set up.
so goldfish
There was a
memory.
lot of people there. You guys are popular.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah,
I mean, that's,
we pack them in. Sardines.
Hey, they were packed.
that was a
in
good
there.
show, though. Yeah, that's a good.
That was a fun show.
I
It's-
remember.
Yeah, you guys doing Millvale this year?
We are Grey Walkers. Yes,
You playing the small stage? You know where they're putting you yet?
we're playing. So they're doing the whole metal stage at the community center where they've done it the past few years.
Oh, nice.
But they're actually like building a stage in there this year.
That's
Doing,
next
like-
to Smalls, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
right next
yeah,
door.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's gonna be cool. Yeah, they're doing the whole
It's a good time.
full production thing in there.
Nice.
I'm looking forward to it.
Are you
That'll
guys
be cool.
playing on Saturday?
Yes, sir.
Right on Saturday. We're playing what? We're playing Friday night.
You were playing Friday night,
Upstairs.
like the kickoff show
Yeah.
or whatever.
Yeah.
they
At like
call it.
10, he said like 10 or 10 something, but yeah.
We're at the Funhouse.
Yeah,
yeah, the fun.
I like how we're all
stage.
so tentative and have no idea what our own schedule
No, yeah.
is.
I just don't know what time exactly we start. but
Yeah,
I
I
know
think
it's
he said
playing with them.
10.
We're
I
playing.
saw him yesterday.
Yeah, who else is playing that shit? Royal Honey. Who else?
It's Eric. Didn't Eric Roger put that
Yeah,
together for
yeah.
the
I
Funhouse?
forget. There's 2 other bands. I don't.
Wasn't it like?
I don't want to missay it. I
I
don't
was
want to
going to
say.
say.
the
I
wrong
want to say
band.
Tiny Wars, but I don't want to say.
No, I
that
don't
and
think-
them not
I
be
don't
I
there.
don't think it was
Yeah.
Tiny
No,
Wars.
he said some band. I was like, who?
There's 4. There's 4.
Yeah.
I just know us and
To be
Royal
determined.
Honey, Yeah.
That's horrible. We should know those bands.
I know, right?
He just told me yesterday. I can't.
We're old men. We can't
Yeah.
remember anything
Yeah.
anymore. Okay, come on.
Yeah, I'll be there. I'll come see you guys.
We'll be next door to each other.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. I'm planning on every year. I always say that I'm gonna hang out both days, and something fucked up happens every time. The last time that we played Millvale Music Fest, I was at a DJ show. Then we were playing on Saturday, but I had a show in Orlando on Friday.
Jesus.
Jeez, that's not even. Yeah.
And I got-
You mean Orlando, Florida, not
Yes,
Orlando, Ohio.
Florida. Yes, Orlando, Florida. And I had a flight back the next day on Saturday.
Okay.
Jeez.
I had all of my gear in the car parked at the airport,
No.
so I could just, get
Yeah.
off and go.
Did you have a starter's pistol for when you
This
got
is what
out
I
of
fucking
the
did.
tour at the airport?
Your boy had one too many fucking drinks.
No.
Fucking slept in, missed my plane,
Oh no!
had to get another flight, like a later flight back. And literally, I made it to Millvale. The guys were setting up. I'd parked my car and
Wow.
run to the venue. I was like, I'll be there, guys. Don't just keep the schedule. Keep the schedule.
So you got to actually do the lead singer cliche that time.
Yes.
You got to actually
Just
execute
roll
the
in.
cliche.
Yeah. And then after our set, I'd
Start
go
this
back to
out.
the car and get all of our merch and carry it in, and so.
I'm not disrespecting. I know it's just like the absolute meme cliche.
Oh no! It
of,
was
of front men, right?
it was
They don't do
very much
anything.
yeah.
It would have
So-
been a lot more chaotic if one of your guitar players had all their gear and rolled up right at the
Yeah.
start of the show.
Yeah.
Hold on, guys.
You've done that.
And then,
You-
forgot a
you've
cap
done that
somewhere.
before. And I've done it before too. One show we played.
Yeah.
I forget. I was way late.
Yeah, I mean it
I almost
happens.
forgot about that right there.
Party Pete, that one time he came back from Jamaica on vacation.
Oh, I forgot. You
I had to
picked them
I had
up.
to go hightail it out to the airport because his 1995 Toyota Camry battery died. Left the lights on in the parking lot while he was gone for a week. So I had to race out in our old shitty van and drive back to the Moose. Oh my God, Jamaica me crazy.
Yeah.
Hey, do you guys still practice over at Joey's place?
Oh.
On Kohler. Kohler?
Oh,
Our,
Kohler Street, which
our
is right
original
next to
drummer
Pete's.
lives lives right next
Yeah.
to Joey.
No, so we are so we're practicing at Colts now, and he lives in the Penn Hills area.
Oh, I didn't know he moved out of Mount Oliver. That's
Yeah.
cool.
Yep.
God, that seems like 1,000 years ago.
Yeah.
Oh, it was.
Yeah.
It was, you know.
Three drummers ago for us, right?
We're Spinal Tap. We really
Yeah.
are
You know, it was
Spinal
fucking
Tap.
crace. It was like
Sorry,
think of-
Tim.
like,
Green globules.
Yeah.
Just,
It's all right.
just like thinking about like how much time has passed. It's like fucking I got like, you know, Colt messaged the group chat like a few weeks ago and was just like his daughter Emily's like, hey, just so you guys know, like Emily's graduation party is this day such and such. I'm like, graduation party? Jesus fucking Christ, dude. Like, you know,
From
just
elementary school.
Yeah, it's like from
no,
preschool.
like the actual graduate. It's just
Yeah.
like, whoa, like just like how much time has flown past because like, you know, like I remember like even like because like me and Colt were in a band before Grey Walkers, so like and we practiced, you know, in Mount Oliver all those years ago, and like, you know, just like her being like, you know, like a toddler with like the earmuffs on, like,
Yeah.
you know, coming. It's just like crazy, you know, just like times. Just like, whoop.
wow.
Jesus.
It's cool. It's cool. It's great.
Yeah.
But it's like, you know,
There's a reality check.
that's one way to put it for sure.
A few
fucking sure.
lineup changes ago, though.
Oh yeah.
Too, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
you guys got new lineups. It seems like Tim's in the hot seat. I'm sorry, Tim.
Yeah.
Not actually the hot seat. It's just our drummer. We're the Spinal Tap of Pittsburgh.
It really,
Yeah, I mean,
are.
yeah, Grey
You
Walker's
guys
been
measure
alright.
time in
We've
drummers.
only had one. We had one like Ricky, who was our original guitar player. You know, he left during the pandemic. And then we got Jonathan Keel back in the band. So yeah, we basically all that happened was Colt was playing bass. Colt moved to guitar.
He got promoted.
Well, Colt was originally a guitar player,
I know,
anyways.
dude,
Yeah,
I know.
Okay, yeah,
Just
yeah.
give
Okay,
it
yeah.
a
That's
joke.
wild
Just
in
give
a
it the
band
guitar
like
player,
that to
bass
go
player joke.
from bass to guitar. Like you got like the guitar work in that band's ridiculous.
Yeah,
And like
I think that like the timing was good because you know Colt plays guitar in Bethlehem too.
Yeah.
yeah, it's true.
So like he was already like
and
his like already kind of like I think his metal chops were already kind of
Yeah.
up.
Yeah,
And,
very
like
much
he's
so.
like he had still been playing. I mean, it was still a transition, definitely like learning those songs. Like it kind of fucked us up for a bit. Like, you know, we're basically bringing on technically a new guitar player and a new bass player at the same time, and like, you know, Evan's trying to like remember the stuff that Ricky wrote so he could teach it. To
And that's-
Colt,
dude, that's a
and Colt's
nightmare.
trying to remember the
The
stuff that
bass
he
line,
played
yeah.
on bass to teach it to Jonathan.
Yeah.
But Colt was playing with a pick, and Jonathan plays with fingerstyle.
Yeah.
So making those adaptations, you know what I mean? It was like a whole year of the band was just like, whoop.
We've been sort of going through that. We did a song on the album where Nate wrote it. He practiced it on the piano for as many hours as I wanted to get down and kick the door open and tell him never to play it again. But we basically did tip to tail like in a day. Like we finished the song arrangement wise.
Not on purpose. You got to add. Our producer. It was his pet project. We're
Yeah, it
sitting
was
down
just-
and writing a song
we
in a
did,
24-hour period.
and it was really cool to do that. You know, kind of. I think a lot of the ideas were already there, and we kind of ironed everything out and did it.
yeah, but like the piano
we haven't
parts were
played
there,
it. We
right?
haven't. Well, I think we recorded that November 2020, correct?
Yeah, it was
So,
November.
We have never played that song live. I have never played that song since.
Yeah, never.
And
And I
I-
never played it in a straight line. Like I never sat down at the piano and played it start to finish. It was like pieced together like you do in a studio. Like I had this main riff, and then he's like, "Okay, well then we'll go into this. Like try this chord, this chord." So we like arranged the song
In the
just from
studio.
cobbled together a few different piano parts and some melodies and stuff, and cobbled together a whole song. And then when I went to record it, you know, like I'm not exactly like a well-versed piano player, like can fuck around a little bit, but so I got like, all right, well, we'll just record this one part. All right, so got that. Play that 900 times. Make sure you do it to the click, and then all right, then we can loop that, and then do the next part. And so like, I never actually sat down until I don't know a month ago or so, and like sat down and like played the song in a straight line, start to finish, and sang it at the same time. So. I'm sure that we played it. I'm sure we played it great.
I had to
don't
go
think-
back
yeah.
and learn like a couple different guitar parts. And I
Well,
was
yeah,
like,
because you guys
I
were
have-
just this was all just coming like out of nowhere. Like the studio, like we hadn't ever played it as a band. It was literally just a few piano parts that I had kicking around that we were like, all right, what's the 8th song going to be? And but going in, and I just sat down at the piano just to kill time while they were like setting up mics. And I started playing that, and he's like, that's it. That'll be the last song of the album. I'm like, okay, cool. And then another week or so went by, and then I was like, all right, today's the day. And it was a Sunday, and the Steelers were playing. So I was in the studio doing this whole time.
Oh, I
playing Dallas too.
I had tickets to the game.
We were playing Dallas.
Dude, I had tickets to the game. I couldn't go. I had to give my ticket away because we had to write a song.
Yeah, and
it took everything in me to convince him to let me work on a solo overnight and record it the next morning. He didn't want me to do it.
We literally practiced at the kitchen in Smalls. We shut the 2 doors going in from like down the hall, so that the sound really came in, and him and I literally sat there and wrote our guitar parts with 2 electrics sitting at the kitchen table to do that. And we haven't played it in 3.5 years. I literally had to sit down and go, wow, I don't remember.
Yeah, what are the chord changes?
I don't even remember the chords.
To give yourself some credit too, though, there's a lot of layers in that song, and there was a lot of studio effects. So I mean, it sounded like Chris Isaak "Wicked Game" for a minute there.
That slide solo part, I got to use a like an old. Have you been to Small's recording studio?
Yeah.
You saw that Space Course that they have, right?
Oh yeah.
Dude, I was like, I saw that like right when I went in. I was like, I want to at least use that one time. And I got to use that thing with like a gigantic reverb for some slide work on that song, and I was a pretty happy boy.
It almost sounds like a different instrument. It almost doesn't even sound like guitar.
A horn. It actually kind of had like a horn kind of thing to it, it was just really cool. I mean, vintage 70s Roland, like really cool old school tech. Yeah, it was a lot of fun, but I don't know. It's just weird going back and trying to learn something that you did 3.5 years ago and being like, well, I should be able to remember what I did,
Hey, at least it was recorded, so we could go back and listen to it.
And not
it's
on
not
an
just
iPhone,
lost to time,
and not on an iPhone too.
Yeah, it's funny. It's like there's, going back to like that previously mentioned Grey Walker song that like we have a hard time like getting that back in. I mean, like there's a time that we could play it, or something that's even like dumber is like, you ever like try to play like a video game that you were good at as a kid, and now you're like, I can't fucking do this. How the fuck was I like 9 years old and like crushing Earthworm Jim? Yeah. And now like I can't like I can't even make plays like for 5 minutes. Like
now I get cramps in my wrist. Even
there's like different parts of like time in your brain like lock into different things, and I don't fully understand why. But I just think like if like you're in the moment with something, like in like your creative juices are flowing, like it just like you can like really remember that, but you can very, very easily forget stuff too. In the same way that like you might remember November Rain as being this cinematic masterpiece of a music video, and then you go back, you're like, oh, this wasn't great at all.
Every guitar player has like probably a handful of riffs that you can just pick up no matter what, and just be able to play. Or like, I hardly ever play bass anymore, but if I pick up a bass, I can play Stick It in My Eye perfectly. Like, cause it's just since I was like 15 years old, like, ding, 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 ding. Like everybody has that, that when your brain was real mushy and like still creating those wrinkles.
Accepting.
But going back
ideas.
To November Rain, whenever you're 15, 16, you're like, damn, Slash looks awesome. No shirt in the desert, playing guitar in front of a church. Now I'm like, man, that would not work. His wireless is too far away from his system. Like, all that sand would be like clogging up his pickups.
The church isn't nearly big enough to hold all those people.
Yeah, where did everybody park? Where did everybody park? They ran into the cake, man. They ran into the cake.
Yeah, I don't know.
Dude, I'm telling you.
I know.
Watch that Why It's the Worst video ever, and like message me after, because you're gonna have a good laugh.
Oh yeah.
You will definitely have a good laugh at it. Whoever does the commentary is pretty comical.
Hell yeah. So okay. Album coming out. Yeah. No music video attached to it. No social media plan.
No.
Any shows beyond? Okay, so you got the release show, got Millville Music Fest. Mm-hmm. You doing anything out of town? Were you working on that?
I think we're working on that, but we did throw a couple Easter eggs on the vinyl just for incentive and people that are interested in vinyl. Yeah, there may or may not be a secret track on there. and
like
it may or may not be sparkles in the vinyl.
There is some sparkles in that. We should have brought one in. I don't know why we didn't do that. Maybe we can, since it's post gig, just bring one that we didn't sell in a show sites.
We'll put it in post.
We'll put it in post.
Yeah, we have one
can
outside.
post.
Just spaced on bringing one in.
We could post that one, right?
Yeah, totally. I'll use CGI. I'll get Steven
Just
Spielberg.
CGI
I'll get Steven Spielberg and
James Cameron.
He'll have one. Get like a T-Rex to like bring it.
Friel, do you have one outside? Do you have one outside?
Mm-hmm. Tim and
Go
Mikey
grab
have
it. Yeah, somebody go grab it. I'll go get it.
There's one in my car. I can
Well,
go get it.
it's
Yeah, go grab it.
complicated with
Bring
the
it back up.
elevator and everything.
Oh, the
The
fob.
penthouse. The
Fabio.
penthouse.
I forgot.
Yeah, we're in the
Penthouse.
Wait,
Yeah.
do I need
I wouldn't be able to get you back in. That's the issue.
Oh, I'll
It's
see
all
you guys
good.
later on.
NVM. If you guys need me, I'll be down at the bar.
I can't go get it.
We'll wrap it up soon in a minute, anyways. Here we're almost at our time. I was just trying to think if there's anything else that we hadn't touched on. We got to get a fucking show together. We can make that happen. That'd be fun.
Yeah,
Love it.
That would be amazing.
It can.
When is the last time we played together? If we've ever has
Your
Great
hot sauce
Festival.
release.
Yeah.
No,
Mr.
was it the hot
Smalls.
sauce
You
or
guys
was it that place
played
in
it-
the strip?
You guys played it.
Oh yeah,
small.
we played at
That-
Maggie's farm.
Yeah, we
yeah.
played at the strip at that outdoor show. It was like
Oh,
October
yeah,
or
like
something.
under the 31st Street Bridge.
Yeah, they had that big stage production and everything. That was a really cool show.
Yeah, that was fun.
That was a lot of fun.
Did you
That
guys
doesn't really
play-
count though.
Did you guys play at Small's Funhouse one time?
Yeah,
I think that was like
their hot
before
sauce
that was the
release.
hot sauce.
Yeah,
Cole
yeah.
dressed
yeah,
up.
yeah,
Can
that
you
was it.
can
Cole
you
dressed
still
up like a
get
chili
that,
pepper.
That hot
I
sauce?
re-upped yesterday. I
Did
bought a
you?
new bottle
Oh my
yesterday.
god!
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
It's the last print
is
though, right? You said?
Really good
It's
stuff.
It's
done
the
after
very
this time.
last batch.
Oh, dude, I have to get one. I need to get one of those. Those
Yeah.
are so good.
Yeah, it was a bit of a pain in the ass to get it, but we were able to make it happen.
Yeah.
So we have a good bit of it. So no
Ooh,
rush.
well, I will
Okay.
definitely.
But
have
whenever
to get,
this is gone, it's gone.
oh, I got to get me some of that. Oh, I don't even want to take it out of the cellophane.
It has a different
outside.
label than the one that I got the first time.
Oh, the original one.
I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the very, very first batch that we did have a different label, and then afterwards they've all been different.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm a collector of hot sauces, so I save
Oh,
like
nice.
the empty bottles, which the Mellow Death, Grey Walker Mellow Death.
Well, now you have the second
now
variant.
now I have the
Second
the-
variant.
What
2.0.
a real collector.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
He does have quite the
Yeah.
hot
I
sauce
have maybe
collection.
like
actually,
80 or 100 bottles of hot
I was gonna
sauce.
say he's one of those people like when you open the door to the fridge, like the condiments
Uh-huh.
are just straight hot sauce.
I have,
Like
I have a
basically
separate
tip to
refrigerator
tail.
for it now.
Do you?
Yeah.
Just
I have a
hot
seriously?
sauce mini
Oh, that's
fridge. I have
right.
a
You got
hot
the
sauce
mini
mini
fridge. I
fridge.
forgot about
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. I think we went through. I know that like me and a couple of the Grey Walker guys went through like a pretty big hot sauce kick around the time that we made the hot sauce originally. That's
Yeah.
what even started it. But now I have I don't know what happened. I just stopped buying so much of it, but I'm still into some of it. You know?
Yeah.
You know,
Just-
I keep a. Let me see. What do we got? Okay, yeah. So, I always have Dirty Dicks in the fridge.
Okay.
I like
Yeah.
Dirty Dicks.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Secret Aardvark is a good one.
Yeah.
Just the
Secret
hot-
Aardvark makes a good sauce.
Yeah. I was just in Portsmouth, New Hampshire, and I got some stuff from Spicy Shark.
Okay.
It's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've heard of all of those because since I'm so into hot sauce, I'm like
Obviously.
in groups on
Connoisseur.
Yeah.
Facebook groups of hot sauce. So I see other people's. I don't actually have any of those.
Yeah.
But a lot of people have mentioned those brands. Hellfire is really good if you ever
Oh yeah.
Hellfire. Yeah.
Yeah. They make the crazy
zombie
stuff. That's
snot,
the butthole hurt stuff.
Oh, they have like one that's called like Doomed and Double Doomed, which is like
Yeah.
it's
They
got,
put
I
that
think it's got
capsaicin
extract
oil
in it.
Yeah, that's so dumb.
yeah, that'll light you right up.
Yeah.
But
Double
yeah, I don't have any of those, but their labels are really cool. You know, label is I'll buy a hot sauce just if they have a cool enough label.
Oh, yeah.
I'll buy it just.
Yeah.
for that.
All the Hellfire stuff. I feel like all of their labels look like Pantera T-shirts,
Yeah,
which is pretty sweet.
yeah, that's cool.
So I remember a podcast of you and Sean doing a hot sauce tasting a couple years ago.
Sean Valentine.
Yeah.
We did that. That was like to promote the hot sauce when we made it. When we made it, we made like a bootleg Hot Ones episode.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was fun.
Singing with the seitan wings, right?
Yeah.
Of all places that have a really good hot sauce, like you wouldn't think so, Trader Joe's.
Yeah, Trader Joe's.
Their have you ever had the habanero sauce?
Mm-mm.
It's essentially like you took like Red Hot and replaced the cayenne with habanero. It's like that straight vinegar, like really kind of in your face thing. It's really
it's
good.
Spicy.
It's absolutely.
It lives
one
up
of my
to. I mean,
favorites.
it's habanero. I'm like Reaper, ghost pepper. Even like I've had like some Pepper X sauces now because you can get them, but like Trader Joe's habanero is pretty legit.
As long as it doesn't have that extract, it's usually pretty
over the
good.
counter. Yeah, I'm not a fan of extract sauces.
No.
Over the counter hot
I
sauce.
call them over the counter. If you can buy it from a grocery store, it's over the counter most of the time.
It's not prescription grade, Mikey.
Yeah.
So, if you gonna do a Stone Cold Killer hot sauce?
I've thought about it. I've
love
never
to do
mentioned it
that.
to anybody else. But
What would it
I've
be?
Tossed
We
around
need to get-
ideas.
We would
I
definitely-
wanted to make 5 different hot sauces, one to represent each of us.
You're a kind
Yeah.
person.
Stone
And
hot
then-
killer.
That's really nice.
Yeah, and just use like different, I don't know, like different little things about each other to like represent the hot sauce. Like I would probably have like the spiciest one.
Yeah.
I don't know, and then I don't know. Like,
Yes, being
It would be really cool too if you could
we'd have to discuss it more before.
You need
it
like
really,
It needs to be some type of thing too, where it's like a Captain Planet scenario where you could put all of the sauces together
Yeah,
to make
right.
one
Cool. And then for
ultimate
the
sauce.
old-
The hodgepodge. The hodgepodge. I like that.
Put them
That's
all
actually a
together.
great idea, man.
Yep.
We'll credit you.
Hey,
Yeah.
I'll
He's an idea guy.
Well, that's great.
We
'cause
can we
it's
can
an
we can get it
incentive.
done quicker than a music video.
Yeah.
So I'll tell you that.
It's an incentive to buy all of them, and then eventually, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
like Power Rangers,
Yeah.
like
Exactly. Yeah.
yeah.
Voltron.
Oh,
of
all the
sauces.
bottles.
I'm
I was
sorry,
gonna
I
say
was
like
Voltron.
all the bottles can be different shapes, and it comes together like a transformer type
Oh,
Yeah.
thing.
The lid's
Voltron.
all
You
open
snap
at
them all
once.
together.
You just like
Yeah.
pour it out. That's gold. Gold, Jerry.
Yeah. That's my idea. That's all I got for you guys.
It's not a bad idea.
It's
though.
not a bad idea
good.
at all.
Yeah. Well, gentlemen, I think that the train has come around the station here. We've hit our hour mark. We actually hit it about 16 minutes ago at this point, but that's
Oh.
okay. It's never mad to go over a bit here.
Yeah.
No way. Appreciate the
So,
time.
of course.
Yeah, thanks.
So you got that new hot 3-year-old music coming out,
Yep.
and
It's already obsolete.
you could find it on
Pandemic high.
on all of your social media stuff. Oh, hey, listen, Normal Creatures, we're in the middle of recording a record that we wrote in 2020 and have like already recorded like 2 fucking times and keep on redoing all this shit and stuff. So it's like I'm fucking over it, but I just want to get these fucking songs out.
So
you know,
feel
So
it. You
I
feel
get
us
it.
on
I
that.
like 100%. You actually got us beat on the release, so keep that in mind. I'm over here giving you shit.
Thanks, buddy.
First
Thanks, man.
I'm trying,
I feel good
to cover,
about that
I'm trying
now.
to cover my own tracks. But I fucking get it, dude. It's hard. It takes a long fucking time. That's why I need to be more empathetic with my music video director, I guess.
Nah, fuck him.
I mean, I could also probably have been a little bit more like, hey, think we can get this done? Think we can get this done? You know. There have been like weeks at a time that I've completely forgot that we even did it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then someone in the band's like, hey, what happened with that thing? And I'm like, oh yeah. I forgot about
What
that.
did happen with that thing? Good
Well,
question.
we're in like a weird position now too, where this has, I don't even need to be telling anybody this, but I'll tie the bow on this conversation regarding the music video. Like the drummer that we had when we filmed that video isn't in the band anymore. And like,
Ooh.
it's fine. It wasn't like a fuck
You
you
can
type
just like
thing.
pixelate it a little bit, right?
And it was just kind
Well,
of weird.
quick edits.
Because I mean, at the time, it was like, yeah, well,
Don't
you know,
focus on it too long.
we'll still put out the video with you, but that was like months ago. And now it's like the longer and longer we wait, the weirder and weirder it's gonna be to put out this
Well,
video.
maybe he'll rejoin the band at some point, and it'll all come back around.
I guess anything's possible, but you know, it's just so fucking weird. Again, it's like people coming in and out in the timing of things, and just like, you know, I just want to have fun with my friends, doing cool, productive stuff,
Dressing up like aliens.
contributing art to the world. Yes, exactly.
Easy music videos.
that music video was a motherfucker.
Oh, was it?
Oh yeah, yeah. But you know what? We got it done.
Was
So
it-
I
you guys
fucking edited
filmed
it.
You
Yeah.
filmed it at Black Forge.
We did, yeah. We
Yeah.
filmed that it was a bunch of different places, but yeah, that was. We had buddies that shot it, and I was like, so like, I need people obviously to help me shoot the video because I can't be behind and in front of the camera, and it's just like,
Slacker.
give me the SD cards, give me the footage, you know.
Your job is over.
a couple
now.
weeks later, edited,
Let me
done,
handle it.
out. I should have done that for this video. Learned my lesson. It's fine.
Oh well.
Well, we'll be looking forward.
I'm
to
sure
it.
it'll be a masterpiece.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you
I'm
need
looking forward to it.
If you
so.
need a music video, don't fucking ask me for anything.
yeah.
He doesn't know any guys.
I don't know a guy, no guys.
Definitely not a director. Okay. Well, with that being said, is there anything else that any other piece anybody wants
I'm
to
just
say?
glad everyone had such a good time at the show
Yeah.
on Saturday, April 20th. I'm just glad
Yeah.
you guys all showed up and had such a great time.
The
was
the
wild.
bras and roses were a really nice touch. Everybody. Thanks.
Oh yeah, we're gonna be on. Well, I guess we have already been on DVE at this point, so it's pointless to give that.
Yeah, that's we were on DV a couple days ago.
Well, shout outs to DVE.
Shout outs to
Yeah.
DV.
Yeah.
And Moe's.
Oh,
Moe's.
Shout out to Moe's. Big thanks to
Moe's.
Moe's for catering.
They catered
The
our
band,
gig.
the band
It's
green
amazing.
room catering. Thank you so
Green
much.
room catering. Thank God the green room is upstairs,
Yeah.
There's a green room.
downstairs.
There's an
So
apartment.
here-
There's like an apartment
So
above.
there's, yeah,
Okay.
some sort of area.
Yeah.
It's an adjacent area. We're not with the hoi polloi, if you will.
Cool. All right. Well, with all of that being said, my friends, I suppose that's it. That has been our podcast. I'll be back again next week with another episode. We'll let everybody say bye. Here, bye. I'll be back again next week with another episode. Same time, same place, same channel. You know the drill. My name is Brian Sykes Howell. Start the Beat is the podcast. 2024 is the year. Take care of yourselves. Take care of the people around you. Peace. We did it. That was a podcast.
Peace. Thanks, Sykes.